As Jimmy Harper rode out of Portland, Oregon, with the Diggs Monroe Jazz Orchestra headed for Chicago, he felt something tugging at him to stay. He was leaving Carl Holman behind, but he disregarded the feeling and watched the road ahead, never looking back. It was a fair October morning, and the 6 young men in the 2 automobiles stuffed with luggage and musical instruments were off on an adventure. Their first destination was a small town in eastern Washington that was home to the State College. Diggs had belonged to a fraternity during his truncated college career in Southern California, and he had arranged for the band to stay the night with brothers of his chapter on campus. The Greek brothers coaxed them into playing some tunes the afternoon they arrived, and were so impressed that they quickly organized an informal dance that night. So the band got paid for an unanticipated booking. From there, the band drove east for many days. They were delayed by a flat tire while crossing a bridge over an Idaho river. They got stuck in snow in the heavens of the Rockies. They were caught in a windstorm in eastern Montana. Crossing the vast, God-forsaken prairies of North Dakota, they took a wrong turn and got lost, winding up with both cars stuck in mud on a reservation. An Indian family passing by in a horse-drawn wagon pulled them out of the wallow. The driver told them they should get a horse and said his uncle had one for sale. The band of musicians declined the horse, but they did buy a bottle of bootleg whiskey from him, and before driving on they paid him extra for the tow. Outside of a small Minnesota border town, they ran out of gas and had to spend the night in their cars when a rainstorm caught them by surprise. At long last, they arrived in Minneapolis. Diggs had lined up a date playing for a homecoming at the University of Minnesota, where a fraternity brother of his was now teaching. The frat brothers put the band members up on couches and cots in nooks and crannies of the fraternity house. The band was so well received that they were asked to play at a Sunday tea dance the following afternoon. Next, they drove on to Madison for another date at the university there. When Diggs and the band left on the last leg of their trip to Chicago, they were flush with cash. At a roadhouse where they'd stopped for lunch, the band members began talking about what they would do first in the Windy City. Chuck, the trombone player, was a big bear of a fellow who rarely talked, preferring to let his horn speak for him. He surprised them when he volunteered, "I want to see the loop first." Everyone turned toward him. "What about you, Diggs?" he said. The band leader and business manager of the group scrunched up his freckled face and ran a hand over his red hair. "I'm going to be pretty busy hustling up play dates for you fellas. I don't think I'll have much time for sightseeing. I'll be lucky if I can find time to practice my cornet." Jimmy's old college friend, Howard Henderson, the clarinet player, repeated his intention to go to a high-toned brothel. He had a reputation as a womanizer, and his looks helped him out in that department. Because of his suave demeanor and air of worldly knowledge, the other band members tended to look up to him. Larry, the banjo player, smirked at Howard. His long, thin face and pointed nose always reminded Jimmy of a weasel, and Jimmy often had second thoughts about Larry's judgment. "Hey, I'm with you," Larry said. "I haven't been able to get close to a girl this whole trip." The remark was no surprise, and the others laughed. Larry was so brazen with girls that he usually offended them. He affected a bravado but lacked Howard's cool finesse. "What do you say, Jimmy?" "I don't know." Jimmy hesitated. "I'd like to hang on to my money till we see how things work out in the big city." "Whoa, I bet you're just chicken," Larry elbowed Jimmy. "Ah, get out of here," Jimmy elbowed him back. Bill, the drummer, who spent a lot of his time with Larry, chimed in, "Well, I bet Jimmy hasn't gotten any since he broke up with his girl this summer." There was a dumb grin on Bill's face. He had bad acne, bad table manners, and a bad habit of making thoughtless remarks intended as jokes. The band members all knew that Jimmy's breakup was still a sore spot. Jimmy shot Bill a piercing glance. Larry caught Jimmy's look and said, "That is, unless Jimmy's turned fairy on us and he's been getting it from that doctor fella."